Hey guys, what's going on? Wayne here. So look, over the last several years, compact loaders have become the dominant category, not just in the compact segment, but across the entire construction equipment industry. Skid steers and compact track loaders have always been versatile machines thanks to their combination of small footprint, easy transport, and quick tool switching. But the machines themselves have really always been the base of this successful formula. But the X factor, the thing that has really driven the explosive growth of these machine categories, are all the tools that have hit the market in the last 10 years or so that were made for them. Tools that are redefining what is possible with a skid steer or a CTL. Dozer blades, grading attachments, backhoe attachments, cold planers, trenchers, mowers, mulchers, and a long list of other attachments are now available for CTLs and skid steers. And with the rise and adoption of these increasingly power-hungry tools, the machines themselves have had to evolve to support them. So as a result, in a very real way, the attachments are driving the innovation and development of the most popular skid steers and CTLs on the market. Now, these machines have become so popular and so versatile that they've been replacing larger machines on certain job sites like backhoes, wheel loaders, and agricultural tractors for a while now. But in the last few years, they've started to replace small dozers and motor graders as well, because they can now be equipped with things like grade control technology and grading attachments. And that brings us to John Deere's latest compact loaders, the 334 P-Tier skid steer and 335 P-Tier CTL. Now, both of these machines were created in response to customer demand for more power and increased hydraulic capabilities. Because as we established above, folks in the industry are long past sold on the value of compact loaders. But now they're asking for more capability. They want to be able to push more, lift more. They want to be able to mulch, grind, cut, trench, spread, dig, and grade. And they want to do all of it with one machine if they can, and more importantly, in less time. In fact, Deere has seen its take rate on the high flow option for its compact loaders more than double in the last 5 years. So the 334 and 335 increase the headroom of Deere's large frame skid steers and CTLs. These machines were designed to tackle an array of applications, obviously, but particularly those that require the use of high flow attachments. All right, so with the basics covered, let's dig in more to the specifics on the 334 P-Tier and 335 P-Tier. So as the largest compact loaders that Deere makes, just how big are the 334 and 335? Rather than make its machines meaningfully bigger in physical size, Deere focused much of its improvements on engine horsepower and hydraulic capability. The design directive then became to make a machine large enough to support these changes and the larger tools that they'll power, but not so large that they're no longer compact loaders. The 334 and 335 needed to retain their ability to get into tight spaces, and more importantly, to be trailered with a standard trailer and a pickup truck. And to that end, Deere says these machines aren't taller or wider than the 332 and 333 just below them in the lineup, but they are a few inches longer. They're also about 200 pounds heavier, mostly due to the need for a larger cooler in the 334 and 335. Now, as we mentioned earlier, the core difference between the 334P and the 335P and the 332 and 333 below them in the lineup is power. Now, though Deere retained the proven 3.1 liter Yanmar engine found in the 332G and 333G, they've gotten a nearly 20% increase in power out of it on the 334 and 335. These machines are both rated at 118 horsepower, an increase in horsepower that was needed to provide the higher hydraulic flow and pressure on the 334 and 335. But Deere says the real bulk of the engineering in the 34 and 35 went into the new, more sophisticated hydraulic system. So to talk about this new hydraulic system, we kind of need the context of the 332 and 333G. In both of those older machines, they both have open-centered hydraulics. Now, open-centered hydraulics run as fast as the engine RPMs of the machine. They are tied directly to how fast those engine RPMs are running. But the new 334 and 335 feature a new pressure compensating load sensing hydraulic system, a PCLS system. Now, this system can automatically detect how much load is needed depending on the attachment that you're running. So as a result, the hydraulic pump on these machines will only run as fast as the current task that you're doing needs it to run. Now, not only does this provide better, more optimized attachment performance, it also allows the 334 and 335 to be more fuel efficient than the 332G and 333G. Deere says that the 334 and 335 have tested about 20% more fuel efficient than both of those older machines. Now, because the previous machines ran on the old open-centered system, they tended to dump a lot of flow. They were wasting hydraulic flow because they were tying that flow to engine RPMs rather than what the attachment actually actually needed. There are a lot of times where you're pushing too much flow than the attachment needs, and as a result you can lose things like hydraulic strength to raise the boom or to counter rotate while running an attachment at full speed. The new system prevents that and makes sure that you've got plenty of multifunction capability along with making sure your attachment has the exact flow that it needs. One more benefit of this new PCLS system is that it runs at a significantly lower noise level than the open-centered system. But look, the most important improvement is that it provides more pressure and flow. Both the 334P and 335P have 4,000 PSI system pressure and a high flow option that goes up to 44 gallons per minute. This combination of the higher engine horsepower and the increases in pressure and flow, the result is greatly increased hydraulic horsepower for your attachments on the 334 and 335. All right, moving on from the power of this machine, let's talk about comfort and cab refinements. Deere has also made major improvements to the cab with the 334P and 335P with an all-new design. Now, for context, let's talk about the cab design of the 332 and 333. Now, that was a two-piece design. It enabled you to remove a couple of bolts and roll the cab back, but when you did, the floor of the cab stayed in place. The new design on the 334P and 335P is a one-piece design. It lets you roll back the cab, and when you do that, the floor comes with it now. Not only is that an improvement when it comes to maintenance, it also ensures better cab sealing, and it allows the 334 and 335 to keep out more noise, more dust, and more debris. Now, in addition to the improved sealing, the one-piece design also enables better isolation of the cab. Deere implemented larger rubber isolators with this new design, and that has greatly reduced the vibration you feel and the noise you hear inside the cab. All in all, the comfort improvements on the 334 and 335 will be huge. We've talked about how you'll feel less vibration, you'll hear less noise, but you'll also be able to see more of what you're doing because the new cab also features more visibility. With the move to this one-piece design, Deere was able to cut out part of the cab weldment and a bit more steel from the structure to put more glass around you. And that's going to provide better visibility to the tracks, tires, and ground. In fact, Deere says that when you're operating with the boom down, such as when you're grading, you can now see much more of the ground area, and that's going to allow you to avoid running up alongside curbs, walls, and other obstacles, but also keep a better eye on the job you're doing. Some other creature comforts you'll find inside the cab are heated and vented seats, hands-free Bluetooth audio, and because these machines were literally created to carry more advanced and more powerful attachments, you're also going to find new joystick controls. Now, Deere says it's becoming more common for attachments to require more than just 6-way control. 8-way controls are becoming more and more popular, so Deere developed the new joystick on the 334 and 335 to have more buttons, allowing operators to keep their hands on the sticks more of the time. And while the 334 and 335 come with a standard 2.5-inch display, an 8-inch touchscreen display is an available option, and that comes along with a new piece of software called Attachment Manager. Attachment Manager is going to allow you to configure and store your custom configurations for specific attachments that you run on the machine. Now, that's going to save you a lot of time because every time you attach that attachment or tool, the software is going to remember those presets and configurations that you have set in the system, immediately recall them, and you'll be ready to go. One more nice piece of software readiness is that the 334 and 335 will come 2D grade control ready, but they'll also feature standard grade indicate. Now, finally, one last option on the 334 and 335 is a new surround view camera, which via a separate 5.5-inch dedicated display is going to give you a constant 280-degree view of your surroundings. All right, that's our deep dive on the new John Deere 334 and 335 P-tier loaders. Now, both of these machines will start hitting lots in May 2024, but Deere says that you can head to your local dealer in late November 23 or early December to start setting up your purchase. Now, moving forward, Deere believes the demand for larger attachments like bigger mowers, trenchers that can dig 6 feet or deeper, cold planters with drums north of 40 inches, 50, 60 inches in width is going to definitely be a thing. So with that in mind, they fully plan on continuing to develop their platform of loaders and solutions to meet that growing demand. But let us know, what do you think of the new 334 and 335 P-tier and this overall trend toward larger and more powerful compact equipment? How are you using these machines? What are your favorite features on these new larger loaders? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a like here and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. It's a really big help for us so that we can keep giving you more videos like this in the future. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate the time. We'll see you in the next one.